everybody. So, as you can see from, sorry about that, allergies. So, as you can see from this week, the Astros did lose the World Series on the choker, and Aaron Rodgers got go, which we will cover more of whenever the video starts. But like every other thing that Aaron Rodgers does, we gotta take our ceremonial swig for Aaron Rodgers and the Astros. Frontline Football. Why did my voice just sound like a old Texas coach? Well, it sound like Eddie Orgeron. Welcome, Frontline Football. We want to play for news, rumors, updates, and highlights, and roll the intro.
Guys, Frontline Football. I know my Cardinals lost. I know that I said that they were gonna go undefeated, but the best people can get stuff wrong. All right. Today we're gonna be talking about Von Miller and how he got traded to the Rams, and they got traded for a second round pick and I think like a fifth round. I don't remember the details of the trade, but I remember that they just really screwed them up. But I think that the Rams are now, I don't like to say this, but Super Bowl contenders because adding Von Miller is such a great player, and he's gonna be with Aaron Donald, and he's gonna just make a great pass rushing duo, and that's really scary. But no, there's no but to it, and they have Jalen Ramsey too, so it's not gonna be fun. All right, I'm gonna hand this one off to Jack.
So Von Miller's going to the Rams for I think a second and a third, or a second and a fifth. I don't remember, but good trade for the Rams. They want it all. They want to win a ring this year. So they threw all their draft picks out the window. Luckily, because they had a head coach and GM candidate leave, they're going to get comp picks for each of them. So they're going to get some of it back. Not the premium stuff, but they'll get some of it back in the mid to the late rounds. But overall, the Rams feel that Von Miller puts them over the hump, and they add him to an already elite defense of Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey. I think this is overall a good move. They're confident enough they have the offensive firepower to win a Super Bowl, and now they're solidifying their defense. But they were already a contender before this, but now they're just keep getting scarier. So overall, like the move for the Rams. What are your thoughts, Josh?
I feel like this was a really good trade that they could have made, and I think it probably could put them over the hump. And if it doesn't, I think that we're going to be looking at another team like the Jared Goff Rams after they won the Super Bowl, where a lot of contracts are going to be needed to be repaid, and not a lot of picks are going to be there. So this is a boom or bust year for Los Angeles. They've gotten all the pieces, and now they need to win the chip. Now, will they? I think so. It's either going to be them, Cardinals, or the Buccaneers representing this year in Los Angeles. And as much as it pains me to say it, Los Angeles has another team. So, yeah, great trade by them. And good luck with your Super Bowl run. Zach?
All right, I already said my take, so we're gonna be talking about some COVID. Josh.
Talking about COVID, which I do not have, this is just allergies for anybody wondering. Aaron Rodgers has COVID. So, yeah, that's another hit that the Packers did not need. Because now they're trying to get Blake Bortles out to Green Bay again. And Jordan Love is going to be the quarterback. Uh-oh. It's going to be an Aaron Rodgers situation again where Brett Favre goes down and Aaron Rodgers comes in and balls out? Or will this be another one of those failed quarterbacks? We will find out on Sunday when the Rams face the Chiefs. Oh no. Jordan Love may look good because of that really bad defense. But we'll talk about something that they did later. So, that's my take on the thing. This is really bad for the Packers because, well, now they don't have their quarterback. Been losing a lot of their team to COVID and injuries, so this is not going to be good, especially because they're trying to make a playoff run this year, and especially a Super Bowl run, because this is Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams last year in Green Bay. So, Zach?
With Aaron Rodgers having COVID, some Packers fans are blaming the Cardinals because of their past COVID stuff, like Chandler Jones having COVID. It's not true. Devontae had COVID right before the Cardinals game, and they never met up at all. So I am thinking that Devontae just got him probably COVID, or someone else got him COVID. It's not the Cardinals' fault. It's not Aaron Rodgers' fault. And yeah, hopefully Rodgers can just get better and just hopefully just ball out, just not against the Cardinals.
This is pretty bad for the Packers. It's definitely going to affect them in the short term because Aaron Rodgers is probably done for 2 weeks. Maybe if he's lucky, he can get back in there after one. But the point is, he's definitely not playing this week against the Chiefs. Now, you never know with the Chiefs because they did lose to the Giants without they almost lost to the Giants without headsets, apparently. So you never know with them. They're not great. But still, it's hard for a backup QB to come in and win, especially against the Chiefs, who are still talented at the very least. But this is going to be a tough hill for the Packers to climb overall. Good news is their division, no one's taking their division. The Bears don't know how to use Justin Fields very efficiently up until last week. The Lions are 0-8, and the Vikings are currently busy doing their little mid-season explosion right now. So no one's really in danger of dethroning them. So they are good for now, but this could affect seeding come playoff time when buys start to get involved, if they do drop a game or two to, let's say, the Chiefs. So we'll see how that plays out. Hope Aaron Rodgers can get back to the field soon.
All right, our next story will be about a rumor that's going around. Now, the trade deadline has already passed. In this video, and when we're filming it, take it over.
This is an interesting situation as OBJ is apparently going to get cut, or he's played his last game of a Brown, according to many sources in the organization, and they're currently making terms for his release. This is going to be interesting because he's a very, very big contract, so I'm curious if anyone even picks him off waivers. That could mean he could end up on a bad team. But overall, this is an interesting situation. I don't know why it didn't work. I remember when this trade happened and everyone loved it. I don't know why OBJ doesn't work for whatever reason. Is it because Cleveland's got that 1-2 punch at run game and they got such tight end and Jarvis that there's not enough carries for OBJ and not enough snaps he takes? But he's had a bit of a down year, but I still think he's pretty talented. He's still talented, so I don't think that's necessarily the problem. We shall see where he ends up. I think it'll be interesting. It's going to play out. He's probably going to get cut. I don't see why the Browns would keep him if he wants to get released. And we'll see. Maybe a team like the Raiders will be interested because of a story we'll mention later. But overall, OBJ is leaving the Browns at some point, whether it's now or it's later. What are your thoughts, Zach?
I'm just thinking he's going to go to the Rams because the Rams have so much, they don't have a lot of cap space, but they somehow figure out a way to get, good players. And, Browns really, I understand why they're releasing OBJ. He's been having down years since he came there. The talent that OBJ brings to that team, I don't think the Browns understand what that is. It's a really good talent. He's getting double teamed every single play. That's leaving Jarvis and Hooper and all those guys to get open, which is really interesting. And the 1-2 punch with the running backs with Kareem Hunt when he comes back and Nick Chubb is such a lethal duo that they can just use OBJ as a pass catcher. What his job entails, and sometimes he gets double covered. Just go Jarvis. Kind of works. So they also have a 1-2 punch at wide receiver. But they release him, then it's just Jarvis, then Austin Hooper, and I forgot the other guy's name. But yeah. So that's just my opinion on it. Josh?
So with this, he probably is getting cut from the round, and it says that the teams eyeing him are the Saints and the Raiders. I can understand why both of them, because Raiders story coming up soon. Y'all probably know what it is, but we gotta keep it secret for now. So, I think he has played a lot in Cleveland. He's kind of, I don't know, he's been very off lately. I mean, it may be old age and maybe just him not being used correctly, but something has been off about him. He's not the same Odell Beckham that we saw last year. Maybe it's a change in scheme, maybe it's a change in... We can speculate all day. Just, he's probably getting released, and it's probably happening sooner rather than later, because they probably couldn't find a trade deal close enough to what they wanted before the deadline was reached at 4 o'clock Eastern time yesterday, which is Tuesday, because we're filming this on it. So, yeah.
Alright. The next story is going to be about another trade. Josh, what's going on with KC?
We have a lot of trades. We have a lot of trades coming up with this trade deadline. Steelers pass rusher Melvin Ingram was traded to the Chiefs in exchange for a 2022 6th round pick. Now, I will start this off and say this is very interesting for the Chiefs because they're desperate. They really are. I haven't heard Melvin Ingram's name since he left Los Angeles. And this is very interesting. He's a 32-year-old pass rusher, and it feels like the Chiefs are trying to grab at straws and see what works because their defense is historically bad this year. I don't know what happened. If it's like the same defensive coordinators, the same team, just the defense isn't there this year for some reason. And it just doesn't make any sense. They are giving up more yards than the best offense of all time, the undefeated Patriots, had per play. This is... I don't even know what to call this. I'm dumbfounded because of this. I don't think that this really addresses the issue. It feels like more of a band-aid to a gunshot wound. Like, it's not going to really do much. And there seems to be a more gaping hole. Just putting in Melvin Ingram and everything's going to be fine. And so with that, I'm going to hand it over.
Alright, I think it's a bad trade. Pass rush was not their problem. It was Frank Clark, Chris Jones there. And Frank Clark, I know he's been missing for a little bit, but Chris Jones has not. Okay? So adding more fuel to that fire is not going to help you. Maybe you guys should have traded, I don't know, for a corner this year. Maybe trade some of your draft picks, because if you want to make that Super Bowl again, you got to give up something to get there. Like the Rams did with Von Miller. Could have made a trade for Von Miller. I know it's a pass rusher, but he can still play a decent linebacker, okay? So, yeah. Just, it's a bad trade, and they need to put more investment into corner. Or, heck, even the O-line. It's not been looking good either. So, yeah. Jack.
Chiefs. What are you doing? I mean, Melvin Ingram's not a bad player. It was fine that you viewed yourself as buyers, but this thing goes way deeper than just the pass rush, and much less just the defense. It goes way deeper. There's so many flaws with this team currently that are being exposed for whatever reason this year. Well, Melvin Ingram does make the Chiefs D-line pretty good, all things considered, with Chris Jones, Frank Clark, Melvin Ingram. They still got a lot of problems in the back end other than Honey Badger. And their issue has not always been defense this year. It's been a lot of defense, but Mahomes has definitely taken a step back in his decision-making specifically. While most of his tips are picks, he looks less decisive in the pocket. He's not as confident as he used to be. He's overthinking, and that's just something that they just need to figure out. I think that's one of the biggest issues of the Chiefs as well. So while I think Melvin Ingram could potentially help, it's not going to fix whatever Mahomes is going through right now, having a little down year or whatever. But overall, I guess the 6th-round pick isn't the end of the world, but I don't fancy the Chiefs as buyers that are going to make the Super Bowl this year. This is not the year for them.
I think we all agree with you there, Jack. All right, our last story today. Henry Ruggs went a little too fast this week. All right, he reports said that he got into a car accident and killed someone. Okay, and he drove. I think it was 150 something. One sec, I gotta check it. The report again.
156.
156 miles per hour. Hit a woman and her dog. Now, I am very sorry for that family who has just lost them. And yeah, and I hope that Henry Ruggs probably doesn't play in the league again. That's a heinous crime to do. You should have not been. It should have never happened. So yeah, Josh.
I would say, to anyone who is saying stuff about this, make sure you tread lightly because there is a person involved who has just passed away. So my thoughts and prayers do go out to the family and anyone who's affected by this. And this is just very weird situation that I wouldn't think that we have to cover on this channel. Especially from a player like Henry Ruggs, who looks like he was having a very promising career. Now, I hope that one day he can turn his life around and come back to the NFL, because I feel like he still has a lot more to prove. But I really hope that for the family of the person who was involved and unfortunately in the accident, I really hope that you guys can grieve and not have to deal with all this media stuff. And also to anybody who is worried about their fantasy team, because Ruggs is now released from the Raiders because of this, you guys really need to switch up your priorities, because we just lost somebody today, or a couple days back. We lost a 26-year-old woman and her dog. Yeah, there's a lot more going on in this situation, and I believe he should be appearing in court soon. I don't know if there's a date set yet, but yeah, he could be facing up to 2 to 20 years, so he's going to have a really big fight up ahead of him. Jack?
Yeah, this is very bad situation overall. He's probably going to get jail time a little bit, or potentially prison time, because he did kill someone in the accident. And it was a bad decision by Ruggs to do that. And overall, it's going to negatively impact his NFL career. He's probably never coming back unless something turns around very quickly for him. And it definitely negatively impacts his team that was counting on him to be much more productive than he was his rookie season. Now with the Raiders, they finally started to look up this year, and they've had yet another setback.
All right. I know that we just ended on a sad note, but hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. And if you do, what should they do, Josh?
If you like it, don't forget to hit that like button. And hey, this has been a very interesting week, and I want to say keep with us because we still have a lot more interesting things to do. We still have stuff that we're planning on doing, like we're trying to get some more news whenever we can. There's not much news this year like there was last year, where it seemed like news was coming out every single day. But we have some interviews that we're planning on doing. We're trying to get the people in right now to give them some interviews, and we're thinking about actually trying some new topics out in the off season. So hey, stay with us. We'll give you something worth your time. So hit that like button and have a nice day. And Jack, hit the plugs.
As always, don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Frontline FB. The usual will be in the description. I'm not going to do the pointing thing. That's for predictions. Hope you enjoyed this episode of news. A lot of stuff going on with the trade deadline. We'll see you guys back here probably Saturday or Sunday for predictions.